So I met somebody and everything on my list checks out, but there's no chemistry. Now what? Should I go forward?
You should not, no.
Well, I like that. It's direct. Just
Yeah.
stop things.
Walter White wouldn't go through with it.
Oh, Walter White knows what he's doing. And on that note, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Muslim Marriage Podcast, where we show you how to find and build a healthy marriage as a Muslim. I'm Zara Hassan.
And I'm AJ, and we've been married for 3.5 years. If you like our videos, please comment and subscribe. Ask your questions below or on our website, and you may feature in one of our future videos with your permission. And please remember, everything we talk about can be found on our website, zahrahassancoaching.com.
And as a thank you, get your free copy of my compatibility guide available in the links below. Actually, that guide is going to be very relevant for today's episode. But before we get started,
You would say it's compatible with the episode.
I would say that. I'm not going to say that, but I would say that. But before we get started with this week's episode, again, for the sisters who were asking about my dating app training, again, it's free one more time. It's free once again. If you have been wondering how to use the matrimonial apps so that they are not soul crushing, sign up and I'll teach you for free in a 1-hour live webinar. The last webinar this month is going to be happening on Saturday, August 23rd. I don't know if there's any spots left. There might be one or two. But give it a shot, sign up, and In Shaa Allah, we'll see you there. So that brings us to this week's episode, entitled, Is Compatibility Without Chemistry Worth It? Actually, the question for this episode is not coming from the Muslim Marriage subreddit.
I'll read the question and then we'll speak on that, because I have a question about the premise.
The premise, right? Okay, so this question is actually coming from a comment. That's why there's going to be so much overlap between this week's episode and last Monday's episode. Typically, you'll notice that we make episodes on Mondays or sometimes Tuesdays for singles, for people who are single, and then episodes for on Thursdays or sometimes Fridays for people who are married, right? So that's just how we structure our podcast. So the last single episode, which was about the nice guy and why we so often reject them. Somebody asked a really wonderful question, and we're going to go through that now. So a sister says, Assalam, I've been listening to your podcast on Spotify for a long minute, and I really appreciate the insights from many of the episodes. This one in particular seems to hit on a topic I've been hearing a lot in the space of marriage advice. I hope it's okay to ask this here, but I'm just going to go ahead. You mentioned chemistry and compatibility and experiences that many women go through that influence perceptions of love and what feels right. I would appreciate hearing your take on what exactly defines chemistry, what defines compatibility, and whether it is okay or even recommended to seek both out rather than one over the other. I ask because I've heard quite often in almost a scolding way, that women and people seeking partners in general should stop looking for chemistry and focus on compatibility, that sparks are misleading. These arguments have been quite convincing, but maybe like the case of this Redditor, she's referring to the question asked in that episode, what happens when compatible values don't feel like enough? And are there any other possible causes other than being conditioned by early caretakers and or media to expect conflict and tension in love? And is compatibility without chemistry worth pursuing? By which I mean, is having similar values enough to make up for the lack of connection in everyday interactions after months and months of talking almost every day? So excited to hear your thoughts. So what do you think?
Yeah, okay. So, just to clarify, we're no longer on Spotify.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
Yeah.
With regards to the whole chemistry compatibility fiasco, I would say that if you have full compatibility and no chemistry, I think the relationship's dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have full chemistry, no compatibility, I think the relationship's explosively dead in the water.
That's correct.
With regards to the I think which is more important.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent, I would say compatibility is more important than chemistry
Mm-hmm.
because chemistry typically is how much you like someone,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in a sense, that could lead to a happy marriage, but it might be a marriage that lasts 2 or 3 years
Okay.
at max, right? Because at the end of the day, compatibility should be what you focus on because you're going to want to have the same viewpoints on whether it's politics or how to raise children or what type of lifestyle you want to live, right? It's very easy for two rich people, right, to find chemistry
Mm-hmm.
because they're always doing something new and exciting. Like they can plan vacations that are always new and passionate, right?
Yeah.
But like just overall,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna want to have someone that you're actually compatible with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of the reason why there is a lot of wealthy people
Yeah.
that have multiple different girlfriends over a span of a year,
Mm-hmm.
or they'll marry and divorce, right? We're talking about like um, both Christians and Muslims and non-Muslims alike. With the girlfriend comment,
Mm-hmm.
the whole problem there is that I think a lot of their conversations might be shallow.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their interactions might be shallow
Mm-hmm.
because they're thinking of like, what can I do to siphon as much money out of my date as possible?
Oh, interesting. Is that what you think of us? I mean,
Well, we're not rich yet, inshallah, right? Like just
inshallah.
off like pure meritocracy.
Yeah.
I think you and I are compatible.
It's that's what you've concluded?
Off of pure meritocracy. Yeah.
uh, so I agree with pretty much everything you've said, and to the point that honestly, I would just be expanding on what you said, right? But one of her first questions I think is very important, where she asked us to define chemistry.
Yeah.
So, how would you define chemistry? What is chemistry?
I don't know if I did already define it.
Yeah, you said that it's when how much you like somebody, but if you could,
Chemistry is more so like passion,
yeah,
that type of deal, right?
yeah,
How easily you get along with them in the short term,
yeah,
in the shallow.
okay,
But I think compatibility is how easily you get along with them on deep topics that are actually influential to living life long term.
I agree somewhat. Just before I define chemistry and compatibility, right? Just to understand a little bit of the difference between the substance of each one and how each one moves. Chemistry is dynamic, right? You can have no chemistry with somebody and then it can develop over time.
Mm-hmm.
You can have some chemistry with somebody and it can fizzle out over time. So it's a dynamic thing that can change with time in one direction or another. Whereas compatibility is quite static. The things that determine compatibility, the only exception that would not be static would be maybe location, right?
Yeah.
Because compatibility is a very large umbrella of things, and one of those things is just the simple logistics, right? Of who lives where and etc. So maybe under the logistics there might be some dynamism, but the rest of it is pretty static. Your value. Sorry, go ahead.
I think if I were to give my input on it,
Yeah.
I would say that chemistry is volatile dynamicism
Okay.
and compatibility is non-volatile dynamicism
Yeah.
because I think it still does move.
I mean, it in general, the things that define compatibility are pretty static,
Yeah.
in my opinion, right? Based on what I've seen. And if there is movement then it's not significant enough to really affect your choice of partner for the relationship. The things that are it's a pretty large umbrella. I outlined 7 of the different areas of compatibility in the compatibility guide that I think are the most important.
Yeah.
And they're outlined in order from most important to least importance, right? So if you're trying to figure out how to assess compatibility, then I would direct you to downloading that, inshallah, and taking a look. But they includes things like your value system and morals overall, your political values. It includes things like your expectations of role within the household, your expectations as a man, your expectations as a woman within your household. It includes things like your comfort level with affection, which is a very important area of compatibility that a lot of people overlook, but it is the source of so much turmoil in many marriages, right? So your comfort level of affection, that tends to be determined pretty much by your childhood, right? Somewhat by your personality, and it's fairly set, and pretty static. So they're overall the different things underneath the umbrella of compatibility don't tend to move, are well defined within a person, and whereas chemistry, which is not so much, which are a lot less concrete. Chemistry is more in the realms of feelings, right? And that doesn't mean to diminish the value of feeling. Feelings are very important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us with feeling for a reason and for a purpose. They have plenty of value. But feelings are dependent on a number of factors, and therefore are changing over time. Or can you be changed over time?
Yeah.
So this tends to be the reason why maybe I gave the impression that compatibility was more important than chemistry. It's compatibility is more difficult to change. Like once you're married to somebody, compatibility is more difficult to change than chemistry, and is therefore it's a good idea to control for that first.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Versus you can't really build compatibility, but you can build chemistry. Go ahead.
I have a question. When it comes to the compatibility, does politics fall in compatibility or chemistry?
Oh, compatibility.
Okay. And what if someone was like left wing and they married another left wing, and then as they age older on, they end up becoming right wing, but their partner stays left wing? Would that lower compatibility?
It's different. It's like you mentioned, it's as they age.
Yeah.
So it's over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be impossible to control for all of the factors with respect to how you change over your lifetime.
Okay.
But for our intensive purposes, for finding a spouse, for meeting and getting to know them in that 3-6 month period, the factors underneath the umbrella of compatibility are going to be static within that 6 month period, or a year, or even 5-10 years, right?
Yeah.
So those things are pretty ingrained.
What if there was a scenario in which there was a flash change?
Well, then now,
like there was a triggering event.
Yeah, nothing's absolute, right? So there can always be a scenario in which, for instance, somebody was on the right wing. It's probably happening to a lot of people, a lot of different families right now, where somebody was fairly right wing in their ideas, not conservative, but right wing in their ideas, and they see a lot of things that are going on in the news, a lot of things about what the way that the world is,
cover-ups.
Yeah, the world is being conducted.
Yeah.
And they change their mind, and they might be now left wing, whereas their partner remains right wing. So that is a real thing that happens to some people, but the odds of it are a lot more minute when you compare it to chemistry.
Yeah.
Right? Chemistry, it tends to be by definition dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What if someone is a flat earther, and then you kidnap them and take them up into space so they can see the earth is round? They come back down. Their spouse, who was also a flat earther, is now angry at them because they're saying the world is round.
Yeah. So they're already
that
married.
Affect compatibility?
So their spouse is at home, married, and then they kidnap the third individual? Like,
no, what?
No,
husband, wife. Let's say we take the husband to space.
Okay.
Suddenly, without his permission. But he sees the earth is round.
Yeah.
And he comes back down to his wife.
Yeah.
Who's a flat earther, because, flat earthers marry flat earthers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now he's a globe earther.
Yeah.
What would that do to compatibility?
I think they have a lot of questions about where she got all the money to go to space.
No,
I
we
think
took
that
him without his permission.
yeah, but he without his permission, he would be
Yeah.
like, "Where did you get all this money to take me to space?"
Well,
And we're
forget
still paying a
forget about
mortgage.
that. There are people that are capable of taking people to space.
Okay,
Let's
say.
presume in this scenario
Okay,
where
all
you are
right. I
one of
see
those
what you're saying.
people.
Then this would be in that category of things that are unlikely to change, but did change. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
So when I say for the majority of, like, when you met me versus now,
Yeah.
the things underneath that umbrella of compatibility, and we've been married for three and a half years, right?
3.5 years. Yeah.
Okay, so the things underneath the compatibility that we've mentioned, right? So my comfort level with affection, my expectations of role within the marriage, my values, religious values, political values, uh financial values, desire to have children, all of these things, have any of them changed?
There have been some changes. Yeah.
Under that, which one of those have changed?
You've gotten, thankfully, you've gotten more relaxed and less OCD
Mm-hmm.
about the house having to be spotless, right?
So
Because that was taking up so much of your time.
yeah, I think I've just given up.
That you were always tired.
But okay, so you're saying role expectations.
I don't know if it was a role expectation,
Exactly.
but it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be underneath the umbrella of role expectations. But even underneath that umbrella of role expectations, our roles have not really changed. Like
Yeah, that's
what
right.
it is that I expect from myself and what it is that I expect from you have not really changed, even underneath that umbrella.
It
right?
took some time, but I got you to slightly modify and relax a bit.
Yeah, you got me to relax myself.
Yeah.
But my expectations of you have not changed,
Mm.
is what I'm saying, right? So, and on vice versa, with respect to all of the things I just listed, I don't know any of them that have changed. You are who you are,
Yeah.
right? So, who was it? Gottman, who said that 70% of the things that you disagree with when you first meet your partner will still be present.
Yeah.
Decade long into your marriage, right? So you just have to choose the set of disagreements that you are most agreeable with, right?
Yeah.
So I'm paraphrasing, but that's the idea. So that's what I mean by static. So for all intents and purposes, these are the things that are least likely to change. Whereas with chemistry, it is much more likely to change, go up and down through the talking stage, go up and down through marriage. It might just be down the whole time.
Yeah.
That's what it means to have no chemistry. Okay. So before we get into this discussion a little bit, it's important that she asked us to define chemistry, and you gave a definition. What I think chemistry is similar to what you think it is. What I think chemistry is your desire to spend time with this person.
Mm.
When you're not with them, just that your desire to be around them and to spend time with them. So when waiting for their message, like looking forward to their text messages, looking forward to speaking to them, looking forward to this person is what chemistry is in my opinion.
Yeah.
And whether or not you look forward to an individual is going to change over time and from individual to individual. Given all of that, yes, given everything that we have said, like it's one of those questions where it doesn't have a direct answer.
Mm-hmm.
Is compatibility more important or chemistry more important? They're both very important, and it's very hard to have a successful relationship without one or the other. I think the key to understanding of how to balance the two is to know how a healthy relationship, a healthy courtship can be expected to proceed, and how that develops into a healthy relationship, right? So I think that's at the bedrock of what this sister is asking.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's very rare that you're going to have to do without on things that are important. It's like saying, which is more important? Do you need to breathe, or does your heart need to pump blood? Medically, you need to breathe. It's more important, but it's you need both, or there's no life.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does a healthy first of all, how does a healthy talking stage proceed? How does a healthy courtship or talking stage proceed in considering compatibility and chemistry?
Oh, okay, cool. Considering compatibility and chemistry, you would determine based off what the mahram says
Mm-hmm.
on both ends, if you guys appear compatible.
Mm-hmm.
That's step number one. If they say, yeah, no, you guys are not compatible, like I know this person,
Mm-hmm.
they're like this, and the other person's like, I know this person, they're like this,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, yeah, these are not puzzle pieces that fit.
Okay.
That's step number one.
Mm-hmm.
If they agree that you guys have what is seemingly compatible,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you guys can probe and ask, right?
Yeah.
The real test of compatibility will always come once you guys are married,
Yeah.
because everything else before that is the honeymoon stage. Everything else before that is the talking stage. It's the stage in which people can still, to an extent, hide themselves.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the mahram typically
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, but they should,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't um, warn the potential partner,
Yeah.
right? They typically don't.
Yeah.
They should. That's their whole point. That's their whole job, is to assess whether these guys are compatible
Yeah.
and tell the other person, okay, so I've known this person for my entire life,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how they're like, and this is how you'll expect them to be
Mm-hmm.
if you get married to them.
Yeah.
And if they ask you questions, you should answer truthfully,
What?
as long as it's not like incriminating, I guess.
Okay. So that's compatibility.
Yeah.
How does chemistry proceed?
Chemistry. I think it starts visually. I think that's the starting point.
Okay. So when you see somebody,
Yeah, I think that's the starting point. Like
both men and women, both sides.
yeah, like if the guy sees the woman,
Mm-hmm.
and finds her attractive,
Okay.
right? If the woman sees the man
Mm-hmm.
and finds him attractive,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the starting point of chemistry. That's basically like the beaker, or the Eisen flask. What's it called again?
You're right.
Eisenhower flask.
You're asking me to go back into decades and decades.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I'm blanking, but yes,
it's been years for me as well.
yeah. But that guy, that fly. So you're saying that's the starting point, is seeing each other, physical attraction.
Yeah.
Okay, and then from physical attraction, from, let's say day one you meet, chemistry is at a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Does it
4 out of 10.
Yeah, does it, or let's say it's a 5. Let's say it's a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
It feels 5 out of 10. Just feels like, I know it seems low,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like a good starting point,
Okay, and then
realistically speaking, because a 5 out of 10, you're assuming that you could only get to a 10 out of 10 chemistry once you guys are married. Right?
for some people, they meet someone who they have 10 out of 10 chemistry before marriage, right? Most of them are non-Muslim because
in
human beings.
Islam, it's difficult to get to 10 out of 10 chemistry with a non-mahram,
Yeah.
because you are supposed to be subdued.
But what is? But how did? Okay, so according to my definition,
Yeah.
it's how much you're looking forward to spending time with this person. You might not. It might be completely one-sided.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It might be completely one-sided. I might never. It might be celebrity.
I think it has to be two-sided. Chemistry must be two-sided.
Okay, there's a connection aspect.
It must always be two-sided. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't have one-sided chemistry. That's just stalking.
I think I just outed myself there. Okay. But that's a good point. Okay, so you're saying that does it stay out as a 5? Does it go up and down? Does it go down? Like it
Chemistry is it's volatile. That's what I think.
How did it go for you? Let's say the day you met me,
yeah.
Let's say it was a 5 out of 10 the day you met me.
Sure.
And then how did it proceed over time?
I mean, we spoke, right?
Mm-hmm.
We spoke with each other. We had long conversations about life and plans for the future,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And I was impressed,
Okay.
By your ability to rationalize what I would have thought were complex thoughts.
Yeah.
So like it was always nice talking with you, right? Like we would talk for hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I would not get tired of talking with you. If I got tired of talking with you,
Yeah.
let's be honest,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have agreed to do the podcast.
I thought you were gonna say you weren't gonna agree to marriage, and I would have said, "Yeah, it makes sense." Same. But okay, so 5. So is it still at a 5 out of 10? Like,
No, chemistry goes up after marriage.
That's
Like,
what-
it has to.
so it was 5 out of 10 until the day we got married, and then it went straight up to a 10 out of 10. I know I'm being a little bit.
You gave me the number 5 out of 10, by the way.
Oh, I know. I'm just starting at a
Yeah.
baseline. Well, I'm just starting point, right?
Yeah.
For some people, that starting point feels like a 10. Some people, that starting point feels like a 2.
It can never be a 10.
I
think
feels.
chemistry can never be, yeah.
It's all feels.
Feels.
Yeah, so the intensity of the feeling.
Oh, it's like wind chill.
Yeah, so exactly. So it's the intensity of the
Yeah.
feelings, right? Okay, so I understand what you're saying. So let me give my take. So with respect to how a healthy courtship will start and then how it will evolve into a healthy marriage. With a healthy courtship, and I'm going to speak from the woman's perspective, and then we'll go back and revisit the men's perspective. So the women's perspective, this is what I have seen in my own life, and this is almost predictably, it's just like it's textbook, always follows the exact same pattern. What I've seen in clients who go on to marry their love of their lives. They'll meet somebody, and they will ask the questions about compatibility, and they will continue the conversation with this person because compatibility is high enough.
Yeah.
However, when they first meet this person, chemistry is probably at a 2, maybe 3, maybe 1.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen that happen. And what the conversation will usually go like is the client will tell me, I met this person. He's wonderful in terms of he checks all of my boxes. Everything's there. But chemistry, they'll say there's no chemistry. But it's not no chemistry. Otherwise, she wouldn't be talking to him, right?
Yeah.
So if I ask them to rate it, they'll say it's a 2, 3, 1, one of those numbers. And I'll say, okay. Generally, I give them the advice is if the physical attractiveness is their baseline physical if you're not physically attracted to somebody, do not continue, right?
Yeah.
Don't pass go. And this goes for everyone, simply because I have never seen that work, not once, right?
Yeah.
So assuming there's a
Unless that person's like super rich.
Nope, not once. So assuming there is that base level of physical attractiveness in order to be married to this person, I tell them give him a chance, right?
Yeah.
Give this person a chance. And generally I tell them, continue the talking stage for at least a month. If you guys are in the same place, I tell them to wait 3 meetings. And on the 3rd meeting, you can make a decision.
Yeah.
What tends to happen over that period of time is that chemistry goes from 2 to 4 to 5 to 6, and then it tends to go up.
Yeah.
And as long as that the chemistry is on that upward trend over that time frame, that means this is something a lot. It's growing.
Yeah.
That tends to be how I see healthy talking stages evolve.
Yeah.
Now there's a reason for this.
Do you think that chemistry goes up because you're building lifelong memories with the person? Like once you guys are married?
I think chemistry tends to go up for multiple reasons, but I think one of the most important reasons is that when we first meet somebody, we're extremely nervous.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
And that the way that we are with that person in the beginning is rarely a true reflection of who we are and how we are.
Yeah.
So if that baseline level of physical attraction is there, the other person might be nervous, the other person might be for whatever reason is guarded enough that they're not letting their real person show. And what the 3 meetings or the 1 month talking stage, what that does is it controls for that, to allow them to be comfortable enough to show you a little bit of who they are, to show you a little bit of their confidence in themselves, of different angles of their personality, how they think, because attraction and chemistry are rarely simple, 2-dimensional. chemistry is more holistic. It's there's so many different factors that go into it.
It's got to all balance out.
Exactly. So most of those factors are not going to be visible in the first meeting, but they should, as you see more of those factors, as more of those factors come into play, and you start to see what this person's personality is like, then if the chemistry isn't growing, if your desire to continue to get to know this person isn't growing, then this person might not be for you, regardless of how compatible you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a question of, are you growing in the right direction?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a question of how long should you wait to see whether or not it's growing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And then I can tell you, every time I have a client comes to me and tells me that dynamic, 100% of the time they end up getting married, tabarakallah. And I like to do check-ins on clients, like a 6-month mark, year mark, just check it. Like from time to time, I'll just have a list of clients that I'll go back and check it. All of them are still married.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that tends to be how healthy courtships proceed. Now, why do I clarify and say this is a healthy courtship? Because the chemistry, not only is it growing, it also didn't start at a 10.
Yeah.
Because the sister, she asked me to differentiate chemistry for that's healthy versus non-healthy. And that's what I'm understanding from her question.
Yeah.
Healthy versus unhealthy. So when I say unhealthy, it means there is when you're looking forward to getting to spend time with someone, there's going to be 2 dimensions to that. All right. One dimension is because of your authentic self, forming a connection with this person in an authentic way, and your authentic real self enjoying spending time with them, and now you're looking forward to spending more time. The other dimension is our wounded selves, and very few of us are unwounded. All right, very very few of us come out of childhood unscarred. So our wounded self, who's looking to avoid pain and soothe wounds, is also looking to spend time with them because of the anxiety, maybe have a little bit of anxious attachment, because of the fear of rejection. So if he reaches out to me, it reassures me that definitely this person's not rejecting me. So it's a way to avoid pain. So you check your phone 100 times a day to reassure yourself they're not in fact rejecting me, right? Again, we said that little bit of fear of abandonment. You're reassuring yourself that they didn't actually leave. So you check your phone. So you're really looking forward to talking to them, not because of them, but because of the
idea of them.
Even more than that is to, not because of them, but because of what them talking to you means to you. That of the soothing of that wound.
What it represents.
Yeah, you just want that pain to be lessened, right? You just want them to lessen the pain. Hey, can you reach out to me so I stop being anxious? It's that's what it is. And they'll be like, oh yeah, no, hi, how are you? And then that's all I needed. Thank you. You can go on your way.
Gas station.
Exactly. So I just wanted to be some reassurance that you're not leaving and you didn't reject me. Thank you. That's all I needed, right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not about them. It's not about how they went. It's not about, really enjoying the conversation with them. But it's more of, I want to get rid of that feeling, right?
Mm-hmm. Just real quick.
Sure.
Do you know where you can find the most gas stations?
Where?
In a city?
Where?
The Gaslight District.
Do we have one here?
No.
Okay. All right, so at least. So that would be in olden times.
Ye olden times.
When they would go around and light all of the street lamps.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they were powered by gas. So Gaslight District.
They were actually, yeah.
Yeah. I got you. Same wavelength. Because of all that chemistry.
All that chemistry. Or it might have been oil. It was oil lamps.
Were they oil lamps?
Yeah.
All right. We'll check it out. But that's the general idea, right? And it doesn't have to be all or none. Like there's very few people who are 100% speaking only from their wounded side. and very few people speaking 100% only from their authentic side.
Mm-hmm.
So for most of us, it's a combination of the two, and a big part of your healing journey is going to be really reading within yourself which one is speaking. Like, why exactly do I want to talk to this man? Why exactly am I checking my phone? Why am I looking forward to him? Like, just and to give yourself grace that part of it might be because of your authentic self, and part of it might be because of your wounded self.
Absolutely.
So with respect to our talking stage, let me tell you how it went for me. And I think we've spoken about this before, but when you and I met, all of the boxes were checked. I would say that chemistry for me was like a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I really enjoyed talking to you when I was talking to you.
Yeah.
But when we stopped talking, I just went about my day.
Absolutely.
And I didn't feel that, like, almost tension that I would felt with with the other people, that tension was coming from unhealthy places. In my case, I'm just speaking for myself, right?
I was very straightforward.
Yes. And because you were so straightforward, and because I had no questions about your intentions, it just made me so calm that I was like, all right, okay, all right, then I see him when I see him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But over time, alhamdulillah, I would say that it steadily grew. The more that I could see the different dimensions of your character, the more that I respected you as a human being and as a man, chemistry went up and up and up.
Yeah.
Right? So as long as it's going in the up direction as you're getting to know somebody, you're going the right direction.
I think one thing that really helped my chemistry was the first time that we met in person.
Oh.
You had approached me, and I was apparently smoking a cigarette.
That wasn't you.
And then you realized it wasn't me.
Okay.
So right off the bat, you're like, oh my God, he's no longer a smoker. This is amazing. And I think that earned some points for me.
I'm not gonna lie, it did.
Yeah, I was sad on the other side.
Yeah.
You didn't have your glasses on because you were trying to look good.
Yeah.
You always look good.
When Jazaa K'Allah Khayr, I appreciate that. But when I say when we met, I mean when you first messaged me.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what you're talking about.
That's what I mean. I don't mean in person. Yeah, exactly. When you first messaged me, because you were so consistent from the get-go, fully transparent. That's why I was calm, and then with my authentic self, as I got to know you, because you and I didn't meet for over a month in person, even though we lived like 10 minutes away, because it was COVID at the time. But when we finally met in person, I would say that a lot more chemistry.
Yeah.
By that time.
And along came a spider.
And since then, and then of course, after you get married, as long as you do all the things we talk about in the other episodes for married couples, in order to keep that connection going, then chemistry just goes and goes and goes. It's not actually out of 10, it's out of infinity.
Yeah.
Right? So it goes and goes and goes. But that's the takeaway. Right? It's not really all or none. It's that, is it growing in the right direction? That's the right way to look at chemistry. And with respect to compatibility, it's really important to get it right in the beginning, because the things under compatibility don't tend to change.
Yeah.
I think those are we could have done the whole episode in just like 2 minutes. That's the those are the takeaways. Are we missing anything?
No, we're not. Yeah.
In Shaa Allah. If you are, let us know. Right? Let us know.
Ask your questions below. That's what we're here for.
Exactly. If you want to ask questions in a more private setting, because I understand, and comments are a little bit more public, you can always reach out to us, ask questions on the podcast. On our website, there is a button where you can submit a question directly to us. You can also find that button in the About section of our YouTube page.
Yes.
In Shaa Allah.
And you can specify if you don't want us to share it or not.
Yeah. It actually takes you to a Google form, right? And one of the questions is ask you, do you want us to share it on the podcast or not, right? Because we don't do that unless we have permission from the people. So that's everything. All right. You're sure we haven't missed anything?
Yeah, we haven't. We need to cook.
Cook?
Yeah, it's a callback to Walter White.
Okay, let's cook. So Jazaa K'Allah Khayr, we really appreciate you choosing to spend your time with us as always. We don't take that for granted. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, it genuinely helps us out. Like the whole algorithm shifts with each new subscription. So we are always grateful for those of you who choose to subscribe. And those of you who don't, that's also great. Um, and again, for if you haven't downloaded your copy of the compatibility guide, that's available for you in the description. If you're a young woman needing help with the dating apps, I would like to say there's a spot open. But take a look, click on the link and see if there is, In Shaa Allah, and you can join our group on Saturday, August the 23rd. That's it. That's all the things. So, Jazakallah khair. Have a wonderful week and Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.